The Mike and Tony Show is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
This is Tyler Holt, hybrid athlete, CEO of 212 Performance Gym, and this is the Mike and Tony Show.
It's a Saturday morning. It's 10 a.m. We're finally rolling here after a long wait for an update.
Yeah.
How are you this Saturday morning, Pierce?
Well, I was telling you that yesterday was the memorial service.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was like, that obviously sucks, but it's like, it's a celebration of life they did. But then, as I was telling you before, while I was gone, I played this game called Last War Mobile.
Okay.
And my whole alliance, along with other people, got annihilated.
Yeah, you were telling this crazy story before the podcast about how this fucking guy.
So this one guy, he's like a ridiculous level. Like it's one of those pay to wins.
Describe the game a little for people who don't know.
So it's called Last War Mobile. It's one of those things you see on like Instagram where it's like, you're like shooting zombies and you're trying to get like the points, but it's more than just that, right? It's like a whole world and you're like building a base and troops and you're attacking other people and you're trying to grow an alliance and everything like that, right?
Got it.
But it's one of those pay to win games. Like I'm not one of those pay people. Like I like to just play the game naturally and do the grind.
Right.
Like do a natural grind. I grind out every game that I can.
What's the fun in just paying?
Right? Yeah. No, it's not fun. I mean,
just to shit on people.
Just to shit on people, exactly. Yeah. Just like being like,
yeah, crush you.
Yeah,
that's the reason.
That's the reason. Mark's like, yeah. I can tell,
Mark is one of those guys.
Yeah, I can tell him Mark is one of those guys that probably has done that before. But no, so this one particular guy in this one alliance, he's the highest person in the whole server. He decided to just go fucking ape shit on everybody. And it was like right before, as we were doing the server wars, when people are at work. So like it's an ongoing game, right? And so people play, and so it's just a 24-hour game, right?
Sure.
But, people have fucking jobs. So like during the day,
maybe not that
not a whole lot of activity. But dude, he just went in and just annihilated.
So how does somebody like that do that? I mean, I know they just buy it, so they have money. Yeah. Does it mean they have money and time?
Yeah. Okay. Basically, or maybe a lot of people that play these kind of games are streamers or Twitch people that play multiple games, and so that's their job is to play games during the day. And so, but like his profile picture is like him at a desk, with a computer, and
like he has a job.
Yeah, no, like he's a streamer.
Oh, I see.
So,
okay.
But anyways, yeah, and he's Korean too, and so like they have it translate me on the screen so that, it shows in Korean, but you hit translate and it'll show you what they're saying and stuff. But yeah, he went apeshit, murdered everybody. I felt bad because like I get on last night after everything and I was like, what the fuck happened to everybody? And like all my alliance people are telling me like, boss, they fucking wiped out the server and blah, blah, blah. Like it's a civil war right now. It's every man for himself. And I'm like, fuck. And then so I was like, I have these other guys in my alliance, one that I entrusted my leadership to, his name's Tron. I was like, Tron, what happened, bro?
Cool name.
And so he went through, he's telling me, he's like, yeah, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. He goes, just shield up, boss. He goes, if you don't want in this fight, you better shield up. And I was like, oh, shit.
And you were saying that you put a 24-hour shield whenever you're not going to play.
Yeah.
So you were cool.
Yeah.
You could have been attacked probably too.
Well, my shield ran out last night, and I was like, they're not fucking attacking me. I'm cool, dude. And so I'm just sitting there, and then like the other, I guess it's server wars. So someone from a different server all of a sudden like teleported right next to me and started hitting me, but they were like weaker than I was, and so the first attack they died. When they tried to attack me,
get shit on.
And it was funny. I was like laughing. I was like, why did he do that? And then all of a sudden, another two people teleported right next to me, and I was like, oh shit! And I was like, I got to put they call it a bubble, a shield. They call it the bubble.
Interesting.
I was like, I better bubble up, and so I put a shield on, and like two fucking big dudes right next to me, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna shield up here. I'm not gonna try to do anything. So, but yeah,
so
memorial service. Then my alliance got shit on, and then fucking Mike Tyson got his ass.
Yeah, well, let's get to that. I went before Couch Guy. When was the last time you were on? A couple episodes ago? 2, 3, 4?
Yeah,
5?
It's been a while actually.
It has, huh?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
I know.
We were hoping to be on time, and then we realized you were just waking up, and so we were like, "Oh fuck, we're gonna be here for a while." So we proceeded to do a couple of updates and then Mark got here in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we all just
He was
sat
like,
here.
I just woke up. Ding dong. Like, what the fuck, Mark?
Well, I've been up. Like I was just like, I was getting
Lounging.
myself settled,
Okay.
and I was like, okay, but I just woke up. I'm just gonna tell them that. At least they will know what's happening. Because I stayed up playing Call of Duty and fucking grinding out camos for no reason. Because there's fucking camos in the other half of it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've got. Sometimes I wonder why you guys are friends with me, bro. Like I don't. You guys have all this shit in common all the time. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know what's going on in football. I haven't been watching football at all. You guys are all in fantasy leagues together, playing fucking video games.
Tony just
I'm over here doing math.
Tony just invites me to all of his like family and friends, and then I become like better friends with them, like Ontario. I travel around with Ontario, go Duke games and stuff like that. And then Mark. And me and Mark play games together, and
it's okay. You're my brother, though. So
Yeah, there's that too. I'm okay. I have good self-esteem, guys. It's fine. It's fine.
can you? I wonder how Tony would do like
What?
at video games.
Not good, bro.
Like I wonder if we just like got him like in the Call of
Hooked to it.
Duty.
What you guys? What if it turned out I
This-
was a fucking assassin, just cold-blooded killer? I'm just
Just all of a sudden,
turns
he's like
all
create a
natural.
stream for
just
him.
a natural.
Fucking dad gone crazy, baby.
No, that would I'd probably be terrible.
We would have to make his like screening Professor Money for real.
Oh, for real.
It would have to be.
Well, I am that on like the Nintendo account,
Professor
and, like
Money,
a few
yeah.
different
There you go,
places.
yeah.
Yeah, I think my Fitness Pal and Professor Money on
Yeah,
there.
everything I have is like all my games and stuff on Baron Von Pierce.
Yeah.
Dude, you should like, and then he'll start streaming, and then he'll like have days where like it's $20 music time.
Yeah.
Just fucking
Yeah.
play some music.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
how many people listen to music on
Oh my
Twitch? People, dude,
Tony's playing.
shit ton of people on Twitch like play, and people will sit there. And listen
Would it be
to you.
worth? Do people go on Twitch that they do right? That
There's
don't
a-
play video games.
There's
They just
people
put shit
that
on
literally
like a
just
platform.
play
Twitch is not just for games, yeah.
and people will watch a shit ton of them.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just weird you said that because I was just thinking about that today. I've had the permanent setup, and then since our podcast, when we did that live podcast,
Yeah.
I realized it's so easy to play live and be able to record it right into the system. And I was like, man, I could stream on anything, really.
You could, and so like Mark said, like doing it on Twitch is just like having like a private concert or whatever, just like a streamed concert
While you're playing,
while you're playing. And then
playing
people will
games.
send you gifts, which is the form of like money and stuff like that too. So I mean, like, yeah,
well, you have to get there first. You got to get affiliated.
yeah.
I got to get a
a certain
Twitch
amount of
account
views
first.
You got to get a certain amount of followers, but you can literally sit there and just play music, and people will there's people on there who I don't even know why they're fucking playing music and they're terrible, but people are watching them. I'm like, I hate you guys. Like, I absolutely hate you.
Well, taste is different, maybe, or everyone would be. Like,
No,
they're
it's
terrible.
there's because the genre of different like people,
It's so wide.
it's wide, and like there's like a huge community of people will just sit there and look for people who are playing music, and we'll just listen to it,
Gotcha.
right? And it's crazy how like it's there. The community's there. You just gotta go and get it.
You got to tap into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been telling Mike this. I really haven't gotten up and moving. I don't know if you probably don't see it because I think if you're like follow me on Spotify, for example, or
Yeah.
Apple Music or something like that, if you've downloaded my songs, I think when I pull them down, you still have them
Yeah, I think so.
because now I took down a bunch more stuff and I'm slowly building the catalog. I'm gonna start fresh with all that, but
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with all that. But you know what I really want to talk about? I want to talk about the fucking fight.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
Man, first of all, we can't understate how good two of those undercards were.
Dude.
The females were doing
By the way,
Right.
that was a wrongful decision,
Completely, she's been robbed. Most people would say she was robbed twice.
and it was true that Taylor. Dude, she leads with her fucking head when
So-
she fights all the fucking time. Like
People who don't follow, we're talking about Amanda Serrano
Yep.
versus what was her name?
Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was the last fight before Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Yeah, the co-main.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah.
And then what was the two dudes before that? It was like Nunez and
I
there
fell
was like a
asleep
br-
on that one.
Oh yeah. You know what was interesting was that fucking Indian guy.
Oh yeah.
He came out of left field. I was like, I saw him, and
Where'd this
then
guy come from?
dude, we were all like, this guy, and then we were like, this guy. What the hell?
hell? Yeah.
The only thing was he had zero power,
Yeah.
and I was sitting there talking shit about his conditioning. easy from a couch, right? To fucking talk shit. But I was, because I was like, this guy, and then that's what Roy Jones kept saying too. He was like, this fucking guy, if he did any conditioning, like, can you imagine how good this guy would be?
Yeah.
And lifted some weights, because he has no power. How did he hit him so well, so precisely, so many times, and the dude had no marks on his face? That was funny to me.
You know what really pissed me off last night though?
What's that?
What the fuck was that Rosie lady doing commentating a
I had the same question.
I
First of all,
hated.
First of all, show some respect.
Fuck her and her stupid ass commentating. Number one.
Shut his mic off. Immediately
Number
shutting
two,
that mic off.
That main commentator though
Yeah.
was a fucking boss. Like he needs to get hired. The shit that he was
we have
saying
different
was all
opinions. We
left
could
field.
spar a little bit about this. But here's the thing. I thought the same thing about Rosie. I was like, what the fuck is she? How did they land on this choice?
Yeah.
To have her, and then my girls were like, oh, it's probably because there's women fighting tonight. I'm like, there are women commentators. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't have
That
to
actually do.
But the reason I say be respectful is because, dude, she was one of my crushes growing up. It's a weird one.
Why
but
a Man Can't Jump.
Oh, God. Of course. You're that age, you know? Yeah.
Don't run away, Billy.
She still talks the same. Yeah, she's definitely old, bro.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Dude, it was funny. At one point in time during the fight, I think it was the Tyson and Paul fight, like she had commented, like her commentating was like kind of like low during that one. But like there would be times where it'd be like, oh wow. Like
That's it. That's all you get from her.
I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, it's
Yeah.
good old job in
And
there.
every single and the thing is, I was live with my buddies, and I was like, every single time that she said something, I went back. I was like pissed. I was like, what the fuck did she just say? Why did she say that? What's the point of that
You were
shit?
fixated on it.
It's like every single time she says something, and then the other
It
guy
was
says something,
crazy.
I'm like, you're the fucking man. He's the fucking man.
Well,
He's giving out quotes and everything.
Let's talk about him, but also what was really funny to me was like Netflix they're still working on the live stuff, bro. There was a lot of weirdness.
Buffering
Dude,
and like
There was buffering and all that shit that
It's
happened too.
server
But like, did you
overload.
see the when they were sitting there with Evander Holyfield and who was sitting next to
Jerry
him?
Jones. Jerry Jones' mics went
It
out.
was Cedric the Entertainer.
Well, and Jerry Jones's mic went.
So
it wasn't
Cedric
even
was
working at one
funny.
point.
He's always funny.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed him, but like Evander and his fucking headset went out.
Yeah.
Who was sitting next to him? I'm trying to remember. It was an old
Jerry
boxer.
Jones. Oh no! It wasn't an
wasn't
old
Jerry
boxer.
Jones.
It was Michael Irvin.
It was Michael Irvin, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he was like telling him in his ear. He's like, what they're saying is because he knew his ear thing was out,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like he's saying it into his fucking microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like leaning in his ear, explaining shit to
Yeah.
him.
Well, that's what, and then
Guys,
when Evander left, that's when Jerry came in, and Jerry started talking. He was like,
Oh yeah, his mic wasn't working.
his mic was
And then
completely
Michael-
fucking off, and then Michael Irvin like gave him his mic.
He's all like, I
didn't
mic's
see that.
off. The mic's off.
Yeah.
I was
He kept
all
on
like,
saying it, yeah.
Netflix, get your shit together, bro. What the fuck is going on here?
Come on, it was their first live event, guy. Well, second, right? I mean, wasn't the roast of Tom Brady went like?
When they did Joe Rogan
Yeah, but-
stand-up special, but they're clearly still new, and the boxing and like fighting events and stuff is a really well-established thing that's done really well by some mega power networks, right? It's always been
Yeah.
with HBO and Showtime and all these guys, and so they're trying to just jump in cold.
Yeah.
They didn't do too bad. Like some of their graphics and things they were trying to use,
Everything was.
you could tell it was just the first run through, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the other thing we were laughing about sitting there watching it with my two daughters was like they really didn't understand the purpose of the ring girls.
Oh,
They're like, why? And I was like, well, it's like an old American boxing thing. It's been happening for a long time. But then we're laughing because they have the digital ring, like it's like flashing
Yeah.
the thing number, and then like she's just walking around. They're just taking turns walking around, and I was like, this is really hard to explain to my daughters in 2024 why
there's a ring girl.
why there's ring girls, like just everyone
so that we pay attention between rounds, okay, Dollar?
yeah, so we don't zone out. And in the earlier fights, though, they never showed them. I noticed too. Like in boxing, they always show them walking around. In this fight, they were showing the corners way more. Except they didn't show corners for the main event.
Yeah, they were cutting to commercials too sometimes during those meetings.
Okay, so
There was a lot of things I hated about that night, that whole thing.
the whole evening. Or,
Yeah.
Like the
But-
whole hate, like
Yeah,
the-
but to go back to the Taylor Serrano fight,
that
dude.
one.
And so Yeah, she like when you watch that fight, and then I was like, okay, and I remember watching the first one too, and Taylor doing the same.
She
thing.
got robbed too. She moves forward with her.
She
head.
moves forward with her head, dude. Dude, her trainer at the end of that match her coach had me dying. Did you listen to the interview?
He took over the fucking mic, bro.
He goes, you know what? He goes, Katie Taylor is beautiful, but she got a big ass head.
Yeah, she's a beautiful person, but she had a big ass head.
So that was my problem. It's letting the fucking trainers talk.
That was
I'm
to me.
like-
Same, Mark. I was like, why the fuck is this guy talking?
Yeah.
This much.
And I think they just thought they were trying to be different, right? Because they even did in between rounds, going to the trainers and having them talk too.
Sure.
Like they don't normally do that in regular, PBC and stuff like that. You know,
They
even
might
back in
talk
the
to
day.
somebody in the corner, but they're not going to talk to the trainer, the main trainer.
It's just like this whole speculation of like hate, like the whole thing about boxing. Like if you really watch back in the day, you don't point and tell your losses, right?
Yeah.
I get you got robbed. I get it.
Yeah.
But when you point and tell your losses right there, right on the spot, like you do it after.
You're talking about the coach, though.
No, I'm talking about both. I mean, Serrano even said it. Oh yeah, she always leaves her head. She did it with somebody else. Da da da. I get it, right? We get it. You
I
fucking
agree.
lost, whether
Be
you like it or
professional.
not.
Be professional.
Be professional about it, right? And in the fact, I'm a Boricua. I was like, I'm gonna be in here, blah blah blah. Okay, show some professionalism, Miss Boricua.
Well,
You're a fucking pro.
They might not have showed professionalism, but man, did she show some fucking grit. That
skin.
gash on her forehead, bro.
That thing was disgusting.
Bro. It was insanely large. The fact I was having a hard time. My palms were sweating sitting on the couch watching her fight. Every time she went back out there, I'm like, dude, and of course she's gonna try and hit you right there.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. She's going to keep on
And she
going
kept
for it, dude.
headbutting it too. Like she
Well, not a
continued.
headbutting, but whenever they got in clinch, she was always like, rubbing, dude.
Yeah.
You're just like,
she
come
is
on.
like her trainer said in the corner, like she is a dog though, bro.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it.
She's
I love her
fucking
as a
tough.
fighter. I saw it.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, she kept on getting taken face shots. Her face didn't look too bad at the end.
No.
You know, but she kept on taking those face shots, dude. And you were just like, damn. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's again,
It was in my opinion, it was a great fight.
it was a great fight.
Very enjoyable.
It's a women thing that they had to see something about it. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Just
Did you guys enjoy that fight before that?
no.
Nunez and
I did. I thought it was pretty good. He was
I thought it was a
bloody
good fight
as
too.
fuck, too.
Well,
dude.
I like the way it went back and forth. It
Yeah.
started, and the choice of the pink shorts and all the what's going on, guys? What's going on?
Oh, that was another part that fucking annoyed me with the Jake Paul fight. Like, why does he have to be so fucking extra all the time? Like
Drive
his-
in with the car.
No, not the car, but his
walk.
outfit. His outfit was $1 million.
Was it? I didn't know that.
In the
Dude,
ring,
yeah.
his shorts had diamonds
Yeah.
in them,
That's unbelievable.
and his like shoes were like a custom shoe, like what painted by some artist or whatever.
And he wanted to make sure he shined.
Didn't look good to me though for being that expensive. I thought he got it at secondhand store or something. Honestly, when he came out, I was like, "That's a goofy ass fucking outfit." Not realizing that people only care because it's got so much money on it in it. Okay, so the main event: Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. First round, I was like, "Hey,
Yeah, that's me too.
hey, okay, this might be kind of cool."
Yeah,
Second round,
started to drop down.
Okay.
Yeah,
Third round, it immediately
Yeah.
dropped. Third round, it dropped off a fucking cliff.
Yeah.
Like actually, end of second round.
yeah.
It dropped. You could just see he was shaking. He was biting his glove. Like not
he bit
shaking,
his
but
shit
his,
a lot.
His fucking legs, dude, did not look right. He's always had skinny legs, but
Yeah.
like on the bottom, but
Yeah.
it didn't look right. He looked so heavy on
knees,
top,
yeah.
small, and then his legs just looked unstable.
Yeah.
And he was having like balance issues. And for me, it was just like, okay, cool. It's cool. We all had some hope or whatever, but 58 versus 27 is the bigger deciding factor. Well,
no,
I think.
What always drives me crazy every single time Jake Paul like wins a fucking fight, like he was like battling this like greatest person, you know, in the fight. Jake Paul is just like Money Mayweather. He has the chips stacked in his favor for the most part, right?
Almost all the time.
Almost all the time, except when he fought Fury.
waits.
When he fought somebody his age,
Yeah.
and a real boxer
Who's not
what
that
happened?
great, in my opinion.
Yeah, and what happened though? He lost.
lost.
So, and then at the end of the fucking fight, when they were talking and like, well, what's next for you? You mentioned Canelo before, and then what he
Stupid as fuck.
what he said, he goes, Canelo needs me. Canelo needs me. I'm like, bro.
Shut up.
If he goes against again, I get it. He's a money boxer. He's making money making these
shit.
fights, right?
Yeah.
Doing these exhibition, they're sanctioned and whatever, blah blah blah. But he's not part of any of these alphabet soup fights. If he goes into one of these alphabet soup like matches, he's not Jake Paul is not gonna
Dude, and
last as long as he does.
Canelo doesn't have to do shit, go up in weight or nothing. He'll just fight him the way he is and say, "Hey, I'll take you on at my weight."
Canelo has gone all the way up to light heavyweight against Usyk and beat Usyk.
But he would just, I agree with Mark. He would just stay his weight. He doesn't need to do anything.
He don't even have to. He's just like, "Oh, this is an exhibition. Oh, you want to fuck with me?" And you say, "I need you." I'll show you what a real boxer does.
Yeah.
And you're not going to wait 2-3 rounds for me to get tired, bro.
Yeah,
you're going to have to wait
exactly.
8 to 9 rounds to get tired.
Yeah, because I'm used to playing 12 3-minute rounds.
So do you guys agree? It was just age, right?
Yeah, it's just age.
It was just age. You can't, because he looked jacked as fuck. I was like, when I saw him like at the weigh-ins when he slapped him and all that, I was like, or the face-off rather, I was like, damn, he's shredded. But then you just can't change the fact that inside that body, all those organs, all those muscle tissues, all the fucking connective tissues,
joints,
it's been going for 58 years, bro.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about like kiss goodbye from the sun and then why the fuck did why did they have to show that much ass?
Bro.
I'm like, what was that about?
I'll be honest. We were watching it. The girls, everyone missed it. They were all talking. Bro, I fell off the fucking couch. The way because you didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
I
you just
rewinded
turned around and walked
it.
away.
I was like, bro, I got to see this. Because I wanted to see the look on the dude's face where he's like, hey, what's up? He's like, It starts walking off and then you're like,
Did everybody
why? Where the fuck are your underwear? Did you just fight?
Also,
Do you not wear underwear when you fight?
and
That seems like a Mike
fight-
Tyson thing.
Before
actually.
the fight, you're talking about, right?
Was it
Yeah.
before?
It was before.
Yeah.
Oh, I
before
saw
the
that
fight.
they showed the clip after the
was
fight
before.
because they were
Yeah.
showing all the highlights.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was
I didn't
before.
see it
And
before.
it was
fight,
just- yeah.
they interviewed him.
Okay.
And then the thing was,
Okay, that
is
makes
that they
sense.
panned down a little bit.
Yeah. And showed it.
It showed it,
It
right?
showed it.
Okay, it wasn't like Mike Tyson just walked away, but he walked away and they were like, whoop, a little bit down too. Like,
And then Jilly, you know what Jilly said? She goes, "He's pretty caked up, though." That's what she said. And then Myra was like, "He has a flat ass."
yeah.
And I was like,
he does.
How do
have
we
flat
have
ass.
two different?
He does have
worlds
flat
here?"
ass. Because if you watch like the weigh-in, he's just like,
He has no lower body.
yeah.
He's all upper body. That fucking upside down triangle on top.
That shit was so funny though. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching here? Why are we seeing all ass Tyson?
That's so funny. I thought that was after the fight.
No.
And I was like, why is he just fucking walking around hugging people with no pants on?
No.
Still, it was pretty crazy. So, all right, Netflix on a grading scale, I'm gonna say,
Out of a 10.
Out of a 10. Okay, sure. I'll give you like a 5.5, 6.
I'm gonna give him a 7. The reason
you?
why is
Okay.
presentation was phenomenal.
Yep.
They did.
I like the little mics. I like the
Yeah.
little Netflix mics.
I love Big Mo, by the way.
Yeah.
He was like his introduction to Iron Mike, the baddest to ever. I'm like,
That was pretty good.
Big Mo, like, yeah, you need to get a new job. This
Yeah.
is it. This is your intro to everything else.
Yeah.
That and that first commentator, that guy was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about
He was
him.
quoting rappers at the same time and even other shit.
He
I'm
was
all
like a bad dad joke guy to me.
Yeah.
Like that, which I normally would like, but he was so over the top.
Dude, he
that I
was-
was just like, there's so many cringe moments where I was like, bro.
but
Did he
that's
really
new
just say
age
that?
shit, though. You know what I mean? It's like,
People probably liked it, huh?
Yeah,
'Cause my old ass was like,
What is all this?
I can't even remember some of the shit he said. There was a couple that got me. I definitely laughed a couple of times. Like, this
Yeah.
fucking guy. Did he really just say that? Even Roy Jones Jr. was laughing too.
Yeah.
He was laughing at here and there.
but the presentation was amazing. They picked some good crew, except for Rosie. Fuck Rosie.
Don't not fuck Rosie,
Yeah.
but she was not the person for that job.
No, still fuck her. She shouldn't have taken that job. Fucking, she needed money. Anyways, go.
But that was like online. Everybody was commenting
Yeah.
that dollar. Like, where the fuck is Rosie Perez on there?
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
I was thinking
It
the
was
same
bad.
thing, and I love her.
They were like, boxing fans are confused. Like, why is Rosie Perez, like
everybody. That was my first thought was the choices, and then watching like Evander and them guys talking, and it was just like wasn't going well. I was like, they probably. I was seeing the vision they had for some of those moments that just didn't pan out, bro. It came out real.
I
weird.
even wonder why Jerry Jones was on there. I was like, I get it. You gave the fucking cheerleaders there. What the fuck are you doing there?
I fell out when I realized that you can totally still see Evander's like missing part of his ear.
oh yeah, dude.
He turned sideways. I lost it, dude. I was like, oh my god,
It's still there.
And dude, and then like fucking when they were asking Mike in the ring after the fight about his biting in the gloves.
Yeah,
he was like, I got a biting. What do you say? Like, I got a
biting
problem.
fetish.
A biting fetish.
Biting
yeah.
fetish.
And we're like, bruh, we know. We see we know.
it bothered me because he looked insecure and like he realized, fuck, I'm in over my head.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. This guy's not a boxer because he was scaring the shit out of people before that fight. Like the things he was saying, the look in his eyes again. I was like, oh yeah, this motherfucker's about to. And then you're like, and then he probably had the same realization, like, fuck, I can't do this at 58. What a bummer to realize that in the ring in front of all those people. But here's the upside. He made $20 million.
Yeah.
$20 million, bro.
Yeah.
Good job, Mike.
Just doing nothing.
Everybody loves him. Nobody wanted to see him hurt. And honestly, that was a really classy move at the end. When Jake Paul just was like,
Put his gloves down.
He just bowed down to him. He was like bowing to him. Because he realized too, as much as he can be an asshole, he realized like, I'm just whipping some old man's ass. Like,
that fucking trainer pisses me off though too.
Who's trainer?
Jake Paul. He's old. You got his ass. You can walk all over his ass. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, man, have some respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's Iron Mike we're talking about.
You really didn't like the trainers, huh?
No, I absolutely did not like the trainers. Like, they have no fucking business in that. Like, they're creating this new generation of entertainment in boxing, which, like, a lot of people, old school
Jake
people.
Paul is creating a new generation of. He's making it, him and his brother, right? Logan, are making it like the WWE style.
I can't stand Logan Paul, bro.
When he said that shit at the end.
Just everything about him irritates me.
I'd fuck you up. When he talked about when Mike was like,
I know.
Maybe I'll fight Logan. And he's like, what?
Bro, I'll fucking kill you or whatever he said.
Yeah.
I was like, shut the fuck. Are you fighting? First of all, I hate to say it, but Jake Paul's a better boxer than Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because Logan's boxed his whole life. Yeah. Well.
Hated it.
Yeah, we hated it. We all hated it, and we all fucking watched it. And they made some money. Jake Paul made $40 million.
That's fucking crazy to me.
Mm-hmm. $60 million made between those two fighters last night. I wonder what everybody else got.
$2.
I mean, right? Like, if past fights, you've seen fights cleared to $200 million.
Yeah,
before, right?
Stuff.
And so that means like they probably equally paid out some people then, right? It just didn't go to boxers this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True. Well, no, because they had pay-per-view money too back in the day.
Yeah.
Free.
And they had that show too. They probably made some money. Off of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think like, and they were also saying that Netflix was watching the password sharing, like the different locations and stuff like that. And so, so I bet they also made some good chunk of change on some new subscriptions.
Well, I couldn't.
Sure.
Like, I had to go on. We go on Discord to share. It wouldn't let us share. That was weird.
Yeah.
I've never had it. Like,
So
I had
people
to
were having-
re-enhance my. I had to block Discord on captioning, on extended captioning, for me to share on Discord with everybody else that was watching with.
So normally you can share Netflix on Discord?
Yeah, I could watch any.
Really? Because like even it's like anytime I've tried to do that, like even when I was teaching during COVID and I tried to screen share something from Netflix, it's all black.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
Or if you've ever tried to take a screenshot of Netflix on your phone,
Yeah. Well,
Have you
I was
ever
on
tried that?
Discord, and then no, I've never had that issue before.
it's just all black when you do it. It's like got some kind of a block on it.
Yeah.
You got to take off your. I'll show you.
Oh,
You take off your extended. I was able to do it.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, yesterday was.
Good thing we all didn't pay for it.
Well, I mean, I still pay for it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
subscription.
yeah, but you get a lot of shit with Netflix.
Yeah.
At least we weren't as pissed off like you would pay for a pay-per-view.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's
God.
like,
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? Back in the day, you used to get pissed off. Like, even though, like, you know, let's say Mike Tyson, you know,
You'd
in
be
his
pissed
prime,
how quick it was.
you'd be pissed how quick it was.
One
Because
round.
Yeah, it was like, 10 seconds in. When he
Yeah.
fucking murdered someone 10 seconds in, you're like, God damn it, I just paid like $60 for this. You're like,
and I haven't even gotten started drinking yet.
Damn it. Yeah.
Oh God.
I didn't know there was 4 fights. I thought there was only going to be the 2.
No.
So I was excited when it started
Yeah,
at 6. I was like, okay, cool. Maybe they are doing things different. Let's get right to it. Then I was like, nah. And the first fight was weird.
Yeah, I was still playing Black Ops. Well,
Yeah.
everything else playing, and then the girls got on. I was like, let's go. And these girls were just pounding each other. Like,
Yeah.
it was a great fight. Great fucking fight. It was,
Did I ask you this already, Mark? Did you vote? Did you vote in this last election? Mm-hmm. You did.
Yeah.
Can I ask you? Are you open about who you voted for?
I voted for Trump.
You did. Okay.
Absolutely.
So you say because he said that way back when.
Yeah.
He's been saying that. I remember the first time you said that.
Dude, I watched Joe Rogan's Trump conversation. Like a lot of the things.
A lot of people watched that. I think it had a big impact.
Let's be honest. Like, there's a couple things on there that he said. Number one, I mean, Joe Rogan was very like straightforward with him too. You know what I mean? Well, I don't
He
know
could have
why
asked
people
him
was
harder
like-
questions, I thought, though.
Yeah, but he was like being honest and truthful in a couple things. Like, oh, I could tell you why people hate you. It's because you're an asshole.
Yeah.
I was
that's
like,
true.
it's just straightforward and simple.
Yeah.
And then there's like times when he was talking about when he first got in office, he's all like, yeah, like, how did you know who to pick? It's like, I didn't know who to pick. And he was being honest about that. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I was told to pick these people because they
Well,
were
that's what I was
supposed to be the
telling
best
people.
I'm like, well, then why are we blaming him for the people he thought he just, when you took a celebrity star to go for president that don't know shit about politics besides the fact that he was just helping politics and we're blaming him for that. I'm like, come on. That makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah. Well, I really thought that Kamala, not that whole thing, the whole Democrats fucked up the whole thing from the beginning.
Yeah.
But then on top of it, I just really think that Kamala Harris should have gone on those podcasts.
And she did.
Because and she didn't. Like her not going on that was way worse than him not refusing to debate. Because the debate,
for sure.
people are kind of tired of those formats and all this control, and then people actually got pissed at like how much they were fact checking him live in the moment, and
But
they felt
not
like
her.
it was unfair. Yeah, that
Yeah.
they fact checked him more. I don't know, man. I just even if she went on those though,
She wouldn't have won.
there's a reason she didn't go on those. And that's the thing is when I heard him on Joe Rogan, that was my thought. I was like, oh, people are gonna love this guy.
Yeah.
He's being so real.
Yeah.
He was him. And he was calling people assholes. He's like, he's fucking ignorant, he's stupid. I was like, that's fucking Trump. I can't.
The funny thing to me is everybody's worried about like the 2025 right thing.
What's the 2025 thing?
Remember, haven't you heard all this? That it's like these conservative guys that most of which used to work with Trump and during his first administration, put all this stuff together of like a game plan for the country if they were to get elected, like a platform. But he's been open. He's said like that's not my thing, and no one believes him because it's like, oh, it's your people. This is what you're going to do.
Yeah,
it has to do with taking rights for abortion and all this kind of stuff. But he really hasn't openly said that he's going to do that. His platform is personal.
Yeah.
He's running on, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to fuck you up. You fucked me over. You tried to put me in jail.
Yeah.
I'm getting all your asses.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm the president. Let's go.
It's the revenge tour.
I don't think it's much of like what people think, oh, he's going to try and do this to abortion and he's going to try.
Dude,
nope. He's getting revenge.
The first 2
Revenge tour,
years,
yeah.
it's just him going to town
going
on
to town.
everything that fucking Biden did and everything that people went against him for. He's going to go to town and say, fuck all you guys. This is me. And then the next 2
Democrats
years is what
set this
he
up
wants,
beautifully.
right? Of what he wants. And honestly, you know what though? Honestly, I think Kamala didn't get on those podcasts is because there was just a lot of times where there was different opportunities. Like you saw, like I've seen different interviews with her where she doesn't know how to answer them without being
She
prompted
fumbles
to
the
answer
answer.
it.
Yeah. Oh,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right. If she's prepped, she's good, but she can't wing it.
You can't prep
Trump's
Joe,
the opposite.
though, because Joe will seriously look at his person to his right and say, "Hey, is that correct?" Right?
Yeah.
In a platform with him. Come on, out of all the people, you don't get in a platform with Joe Rogan and say something and not get fucking fact checked by the guy next to him.
Jamie.
Yeah, I was
Jimmy,
like,
go check your ass.
let me check your ass
sure.
there, right?
Every time. Why
Rogan
not?
did it every single time he did it with
Yeah.
Trump. It was like if he needed a fact check, they pop it up on the screen. They looked at it together and like, hey, look,
Yeah.
here it is. So, yeah.
So you're happy. You think we're heading in a good direction?
I think there's things that need to change for sure. The one thing, and again, people can hate me. I don't care. Like the one thing that I know that needed help was the economy and the business aspect of it. Yeah, he's helping the millionaires, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. But at the same time, he's bringing money in and he's lowering money. He has a plan to lower shit for us lower income people, modern, like mid-level to low-level people. Even with them, even with the bullshit that he's doing, he's still helping more or less this side of it. You know what I mean? More or less. And people just don't see that.
Do you think that's really what's going to happen?
I don't know. It's going to be hard. Each president's going to tell, every single individual is going to tell us, oh, I have a plan. I have a plan to help everybody. No. But guess what? Because we're in the United States, there's two sides and like literally governed by the Congress. Everybody could have all the fucking plan in the world, but at the end of the day,
one person doesn't have absolute power. Correct.
One person will not have absolute power, and they will not always get exactly what they want.
But the Republicans did win everything across the board.
Yeah,
It's a totally
That's true. But there's again,
but he kind of is like the black sheep in the Republican Party in a lot of ways. There's some people that now have come over to him with seeing his success and him getting elected the first time and now the second time. But a lot of Republicans, remember when he first started, they fucking hated him.
Oh yeah,
they were being dirty trying to get him out of the party because they weren't happy with it. Turns out, honestly, it was probably the best thing that's happened to the Republican Party in a long time.
I got questions for you
them.
guys. How do you? Well, Mike, we'll go for you first. How do you feel about the whole lowering taxes, build up tariffs aspect of it, like he was explaining?
So we were talking about this earlier. So
Was this before the show?
Yeah, this is before the show. So one of my good friends relies on a lot of stuff to come from China.
Yeah,
as far as like merchandise and stuff like that. Well, not really good friends, but one of my friends relies on that stuff to come over from China because it's cheaper stuff and it's and they bring it over because the United States just charges obviously more, and so tariffs on that is going to mess this person's
bank account
thing up. Just on what they can buy and stuff because now all the stuff that's coming over is going to get taxed even more on that. So, but I was telling Dollar his plans. I think what his plans are to use those tariffs to help fund the government and take down the debt, the national debt.
And is that wrong?
It's no, I don't think it's wrong. It's just, but 85% of the world's goods come from China.
But I think more, it's not a question of are intentions wrong, but is it the wrong or right strategy? Is that what's going to be effective? That's what, because like Mike said, like so much shit comes from China is going to have a giant effect. So there's going to have to be more work that follows. If you start charging crazy tariffs on all the stuff coming in, you're going to have to start creating the solutions here in the United States on how you're going to deal with those things that are no longer coming in.
There has to be a balance though. But if you think about it, like, we're on the losing end because we're going to be losing 85%. China will also be losing 85%.
That's true.
Yeah.
Imagine that. How are they? They're not going to decide, I'm going to get 85% of my shit. Fuck that. You know what I mean? They're not going to be like, okay, we're going to have to figure some shit out because if they're going to start taxing us and if we lose them, we lose business here. And I'm pretty sure
do you think it's going to force them into a position where they're going to have to work with us?
I mean, wouldn't you? As a business person, it's simplistic. I mean, not simplistic, but it's
make a lot of money off us.
It's logical. You know what I mean? Why would you want to lose 85% of United States business?
And I do get the principle of if you're making a lot of money off of us, then we need to make some money off of you.
Why? I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. And just to get rid of the United States,
I don't know shit.
We
are not doctors
or economists,
or fucking anything.
This is just me, and we're talking about me, guys. Like, come on.
I will say though that in my former industry, a lot of people are freaked out.
Yeah,
in my former industry because Trump has said that he's getting rid of the Department of Education.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Same here because of I work in public education.
Yeah.
So it is
but
pretty
the federal Department of Education, not necessarily
true. Yeah. But it's curious to see what will happen. Some states are going to follow suit. Some states already started. That dude from fucking Georgia, the governor in Georgia. Did you hear him talking?
Yeah.
He's like, in preparation for the vanishing of the Department of Education, we're going to start doing this. He's like already on board. You're like, oh Jesus, bro. Because to me, I get the idea fiscal conservatism, right? This idea that it's a free market economy. You create all these businesses, you let businesses compete against one another, and the best shit rises to the top, and it works out great for the customer is kind of the idea. Is that really what's going to happen? And what about things like public education? Like if you turn that all into companies, dude, our job is so fucking hard already. Like, would it get better? I can't imagine. I imagine I'm going to make less. I'm going to have less stability in my retirement. Especially if it transitions during my lifetime, during my career.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But is that real? Did he actually? I've never heard Trump actually say that. I've heard a lot of people talking about that on his side. But has he actually said he wants to completely get rid of the Department of Ed, Mike?
Yeah, he wants to abolish it.
And that's, oh man, that's wild.
But just to clarify, I mean, like the Department of Education hasn't always existed. You know what I mean? Before that, you know, it was under like the Secretary of State kind of stuff. So in some kind of form, it's always been around, but Department of Education is like, you know, around there. But yeah, some of the things that they do, you know, is just going to be moved to a different department, right? And so
as long as nobody fucks with my retirement, that's what's going to kill me. If somebody starts messing around with my ability to retire, and I'm trying to retire 2 years early too. We're saving so that we can do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the biggest thing though, is, you know, didn't they show how more or less stupid we are in comparison to other countries when it was at the Joe Rogan thing? They showed a graph.
What, of intelligence or something?
Of education.
Our education's always been
garbage.
far behind.
Yeah.
And then, well, here's the thing. He said something about it. He's aware of it. You know what I mean? And, you know, more or less, like, abolishing the Department of Education, he hoping that he has a plan behind it, right?
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable if he's like, we're going to renovate it. Right. We're going to fix it. As opposed to we're going to get rid of it and make it all private.
I would always think about, like, again, there's always two different parties. There's always going to be somebody saying no to that idea, and they're going to end up more or less renovating it versus abolishing it would be probably the best solution.
Right, but I think that's the opinion of most Republicans right now, is that it's not worth renovating. It's a pile of burning garbage, and it just needs to go away. And I think that's the take on it. And there's a lot wrong with it, but I would just rather we try to fucking fix it. Because it says a lot about our society if we don't have public educational institutions. It also says a lot about our society that we have shitty ones right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a problem. So, and my kids are feeling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, buddy. Yeah. A lot of kids are feeling it.
Yeah. Like I hate to say it like this, like my kids don't go to, you know, the best school, the best. I don't have an option. Like we have to go to certain schools because of my oldest one. And I've had conversations with their principals and stuff like that. It's like, what is she doing in this position? Like I was like, and I even like, there was a time when my daughter came out with, you know, she had blood all over her. And I'm like, she had blood all over her. She had blood all over her fingers. I'm like, and I came up to a teacher and I was like, or to the assistant principal, I was like, can I ask real quick what you guys' procedures are or your protocols in regards to a kid having blood all over her and coming out with that type of stuff? I was like, isn't it priority? If you see blood, you wipe it off, you clean them off and ask them what's going on. And the fact that I came up to her, asked her what's going on, she tells me, I don't know, pisses me off.
You're like, is that your blood? Is that somebody else's blood?
Exactly.
When did this happen? How do you have blood on you and nobody knows it?
Nobody knows.
That means they're not seeing you physically.
They didn't call us. Your daughter was bleeding. She couldn't tell me where it came from or even bother to ask her. I'm like, I was like, and then, you know, he's fairly new. He just got there. I love him to death. And he told me straight up. He's all like, I'm trying. I was like, I just got here, but it's just like any other institution, just like anybody else, like me in banking. It takes time to get rid of people.
I would argue that it's harder in education to get rid of people. I think so. I see it, you know.
Yeah.
There's
not that many, so they're trying to hold on to what they can, even if it is trash.
It's such a broken system to work in. Like that's why I really think, you know, to have as much respect for teachers in general, private, public, all of them, just because what they're doing every day is so hard. And it's not just that it's a hard job inherently because you're dealing with kids, you know what I mean, that are wild. But on top of it, it's like the system's broken. Like my kids were pissed at me because there's no staples in the printer when I'm making copies, and so I'm running a bunch of copies. I come in and they get really irritated and they're like, can we staple it? But I've literally personally bought 4 staplers this year, because they get broken. And it's not even that the kids are abusing them, it's just a lot of fucking traffic. That's a lot of kids stapling papers and stapling shit, but they're mad at me, you know what I mean? They're like, mister, why don't you staple them? I'm like, well, I don't have time to hand staple that many, and there's no staples in the machine right now, and I don't got time to figure that out. So just don't worry about it. Put your name on every page.
Get your penmanship up, you non-cursive.
And I'm not talking
kid.
about shit about my school or anything. It's just that's the story across the board in public education.
Yeah.
There's not enough resources. Everybody's underpaid. Every person's doing like jobs of 5 fucking people. Like things have to get figured out daily. There's more work than can be done by the people doing it. It's a hard thing to be in, and a lot of people are there, but it's like any other job too, like banking or anything. I'm sure there are people there that are there for the right reasons, that are working hard, that truly care about kids, and they're just struggling because it's hard. And there are also people that you're like, why do you do this job?
Right.
Just like you do in banking, just like in any other job.
Yeah.
There's people that you're like, did you just get stuck here? Like, what's up with that?
Because it pays the bills.
Because it pays the bills, yeah. Well, I'm telling you, though, if you just want to pay your bills, there are better ways. I'm being honest. Like the things that you go through emotionally, mentally, the amount of work that has to be done all the time. Like if you're just looking to like pay your bills and that's your main concern, don't teach. It sucks to say that as a teacher. I want people to teach. But there's a reason that over a quarter of teachers have left the industry in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody wants to do it anymore.
Well, that's what happened to my daughter's school. They were supposed to open up another branch, and they've been in the news like crazy. They're supposed to open another branch, and they weren't even ready because they didn't have enough teachers
to open it up. Huh.
So now that that branch had to have kids come over to their branch, and their school is now fucking overflowing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, I get the conservative view that it's just a broken system.
Yeah.
And if you want to start from scratch, cool. My personal beliefs are I feel like we need public institutions.
Yeah.
I really think do I think everything should be public? Fuck no. We definitely need companies. We need corporations. We need a structure. We need a free market economy. I agree with that. But I think there's a place for public institutions, just like public health and there's things we should provide as a society. I really feel like, and I feel like it doesn't have to cost us that much money. But the problem is in the past when it's done, it becomes a disaster. And it's just a money suck.
Yeah.
And then there's people, doing jack shit and people making the whole thing look bad. And then people go, see, this never works. And they want to get rid of it. So I get both sides, honestly.
Get shit on.
Hey, maybe you could be a teacher, Mark.
Fuck no.
You've tried this already.
Yeah.
Bro,
I'm going to keep trying. I don't know.
If I can't fucking I have no patience for grown ass adults.
But I don't
acting
believe
like
you
kids.
because I've seen the patience you have with your own kids.
Well, that's his own kids.
That's
bro.
my kids.
That's
his
true.
kids.
That's true. That's true.
A lot of people have that, right? They like their own kids.
Yeah,
But they don't like
true.
other kids.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing though. Working in management, you think about it, it's the thing about working in management is when you start babysitting grown ass adults, why can't you do a simple task that you're paid to do? And I think that's part of my mindset of this generation. They don't take their fucking jobs seriously. They just they think it's a joke. They could go get another one and move on to the next. And it's just, and the mindset is of people that
Why did
works
that change,
underneath
though?
You are not scared of management or upper people or a senior. It's crazy to me because I grew up working and I'm like, if my manager was in the building, fuck man, when he leaves, I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm happy that he leaves because I'm scared of that motherfucker.
And now you're saying people don't care.
They don't give a rat's ass. They could be standing.
But why is that? Because people are they're gonna act how they're expected to act, or what they're held accountable to.
Well, remember, so our parents and our parents' generations say that their institutions for
Ever.
years.
Loyalty.
Like once, they worked at one job 30 years and then retired, 40 years and retired.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Whereas we came into the digital age, people are like, companies don't have loyalty to their employees.
No.
That's true.
And so I think that's what people finally realize is that when the companies don't have loyalties to their employees, then the employees don't have to have loyalties to their companies.
Right.
And I've been shat on in the past,
Yeah.
where I had huge loyalty to, where I worked and, in the hopes of, being promoted and being moved up and this and that, and doing and going the extra mile. And then only to find out that, that the institution didn't feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you keep on doing all that stuff for us at that salary.
Yeah.
That's cool. Right on. We appreciate you doing all that work. And so you're just like, fuck, dude. And you just gotta get up with the times and be like, okay, well,
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they say, with our generations and moving forward, right? That, people have 8 jobs within their lifetimes. Because, they'll work, a few years here and then move up to here, a few years there, and it's always just, moving up to progress on. And that's literally what's have to happen.
You know what's crazy? I don't remember who had this quote, but they were explaining something. Like grocery store, 99 cents for a water,
Yeah.
right? You go to an event,
$6.
$2.50 for a water. You go to an airlines, $7.99, but it's the same fucking water.
Yeah.
Same water,
Yeah. right?
and then they were saying is like, you could stay at your place, get paid that much, right? But you're the same person. Why don't you? And then this is crazy, and this is part of social media. Why would you want to stay at the job that pays you that much, right? Instead, you could just go look for another job that could pay you even more. Like, it's a great inspirational, like, motivational thought process, right? If a water could be 99 cents at the grocery store, but at the airlines will be $6.50. But that's the same water.
Same for people.
Yeah, same.
The same person could be worth this over here.
And this
but
is
worth
what we're teaching
10
them.
times that over here.
Right? It's great. It sounds amazing. That's
Yeah.
fucking fantastic. It's true. But now you're telling people, it's like, hey, don't work your ass off.
We used to talk about this, Pierce, back in the day, like at Jones and everything. Like, for years we've been talking about like how that's the way the job economy is moving. It's becoming this like contractor type of model where there is no more loyalty. There's no more people just go around and they have the power to just kind of pick and choose. They can even leave abruptly and shit and then just go get another job.
Yeah.
It's been changing for a while. Now here we are. This is, I mean, if you think about those conversations, those are a good 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Things really have gone exactly that direction.
And that's the thing, what you were talking about, dude. Like, how Mark was saying, like people don't have that fear anymore or anything like that. Like in the past, you would give 2 weeks, and you're like, oh, I'm going to give you 2 weeks and blah, 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 but now like people are just like, I'm done today. I'm going to walk off. I'm just all done today.
Here's my keys.
And they will have no problem getting a job the very next day. Whereas like back in the day, like in our parents' generations and even, to extent some of us had the fear of like, oh, if I don't give 2 weeks, then I'm not going to get a good review. If I apply for another job, like, well, fuck that. Don't put them on your review.
Right.
Put somebody else on there.
Right.
Yeah. And even at that, people don't even put like their real bosses
No.
from their old jobs.
Hey, Mike Pierce. Yeah, this is, I was Tony's boss at like 6 different jobs. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You followed that Mike Pierce guy around a
That was
lot.
actually probably a bad example because you were my boss.
Yeah, I was your boss. A few jobs. But no, yeah, same thing, right? Like I'd be like, yo, hey, Jared, can you, I listed you as my supervisor. Can you,
Yeah.
when they call you, just let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hook me up, buddy.
Yeah. And so,
No problem. Got
but
you.
yeah, but nowadays, like, yeah.
They don't
people
even
care.
call, dude.
Yeah.
They rarely even call,
You're just gone.
like at all. Like I had a couple of my old bankers apply for school jobs. They're the only ones that actually called me. Every other person that told me, "Hey, I put you down as a reference," fantastic. Nobody
see.
ever called.
You know what
Don't
else is
call you for
wild?
reference.
You know what else is wild?
What?
The last couple of places that I've worked at, when they have bachelor's degree required, they have not asked me for fucking transcripts.
No,
Like I have a bachelor's degree, but
But you haven't had to produce proof.
I've never had to produce proof for that. And
well, they pop it up
in the jobs. What?
Oh, they
We
probably
pop it
look
up in
it
the
up. Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
It's part of your background check.
How?
Huh? It's crazy because I've asked about that too,
Uh-huh.
but it's it pops up as a background check.
How though?
I don't know.
They can verify education.
It's crazy. FYI.
Okay.
Okay. Because I had to verify a couple.
Then I'm ignorant on that part. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, on the hiring part of it, because again, we were hiring at certain levels of it.
Yeah.
And then when we pull up their background, it's just like, hey,
Okay.
there's a degree behind this guy.
But the lack of loyalty is getting even more extreme too, because in education it's different. In education, like in teaching public schools or whatever, it's not 2 weeks. Like you're an asshole if you leave in the middle of the year. That's what it's always been historically.
Yeah.
But I've been telling Mike and telling you guys like more than ever in the last 5 years, teachers just do the same shit. There's teachers that are just like, I can't do this. I'm out. Yeah. And you're just gone. Next, you have a class full of kids. You got to figure out how are we teaching these kids science or math or English or whatever the fuck.
That's literally what happened to my daughter. Like halfway through, all of a sudden, a substitute teacher, which by the way has no business being in there, is teaching my kids. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, this is only my 6th year in education, but everybody in education tells me it's always been standard. If you're leaving, you finish the school year.
Yeah.
You don't even leave halfway at winter break or anything.
Yeah.
You fucking write it out.
I've heard
because
of numerous
people are
doing that.
Because when teachers walk, it's different than a normal job.
Yeah.
When a teacher leaves
30
immediately.
people.
Not 30 people. These kids, we're teaching 90 plus
I
kids.
mean, like a homeroom style, right? Let's say like an elementary, right?
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. Even then, it's not just those kids, but it's all the parents and the families that are involved in that now.
Yeah.
You have a legal obligation to get them this education, but now the teacher's just gone. So that's why it's always been a thing where it's like you could hate it all you want. Maybe you show up half-ass every day, but you finish the school year.
Yeah. Because
all of a sudden there's this hole to fill, and we have all these other problems anyway.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's not like my job for sure. If I put in my 2 weeks, dude, they walk me out. They won't even let me work the 2.
A lot of companies
A lot
do
of
that.
do that. Yeah. I
They're
mean,
like, oh,
when I was at when I worked at the school with Tony, that same thing. I gave my 2 weeks, and it was like, no, just here's everything.
Here's your stuff.
Here's your check.
be gone.
But because you give the 2 weeks, they do have to pay you out.
The 2 weeks.
Those 2 weeks.
That's why you
absolutely.
give them. That was,
Yeah.
it's a formality now.
Yeah.
Just give your 2 weeks so you get 2 weeks of pay, and then they're just going to escort you out the door.
Hate life.
Yeah, but here's the truth for me is like, I just love my job anyway. Even if I started getting more bullshit, even if it became privatized, even if it just worst case scenario, I just like doing what I'm doing. So I probably am just going to keep doing it no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's too bad that we're not all in that kind of a position. It's baffling to me how many people spend their lives in careers that they fucking hate. I'm like, in the United States.
It's
sure.
wild, right?
Yeah, and maybe some people, I'm sure, I can't say that across the board. There are certainly people that just don't really get much opportunities at all. But I don't know, I'm old too. We were raised in the generation that's like, it doesn't matter about your opportunities. You got to fucking make them. Like, you got to get out there and do something and create something in the world, make something of yourself. And in our generation, that was being loyal and consistent and fucking caring about what you're doing.
That's the other thing too about us and me. Like if I ever, like I've never been let go from a job ever, like I've been let go because of like a company got sold and then I got laid off, but I've never been like fired for a job.
Buyouts.
Yeah. And so like when that happened, I immediately was looking for fucking jobs, like right away. Like the next day I'm like job, looking for jobs. And I'm like, fuck, I can't, I got to have a job, but nowadays people are like, I'm just going to hang out to this unemployment. Not that that's you, Mark.
I haven't even got mine yet.
But
you know how hard it is to get that shit
But people
nowadays?
just like, I'm going to hang out with this unemployment for a little bit, ride this out and take a little vacation. I'm like, fuck, I can't be paying the bills. Like me, like I'm taking a fucking janitor job. Like if I got a job, I'm applying for everything.
I think that's our generation.
Yeah.
Gas station, whatever the fuck I got. If I can't get nothing, obviously I'm not going to start there.
Yeah.
But like if I can't get nothing, you get to a point where you're like, damn, we just got to figure it out. But nowadays too, like some of those jobs pay so little compared to inflation and like how much money has gone. Like you're not going to be able to live on it.
No. It's
just going to stop the bleeding. It's going to slow the bleeding. Really,
dude, my fucking unemployment is supposed to pay me more than what I'm gonna be applying for other places. So it's like waste of time and waste of money.
God.
It's so bad, dude. It's really, really bad. And you know what though? The unemployment compared to what it was back in 2016, it's completely changed, dude. I'm still like I've been gone since October 9th and I haven't got a single dime.
Wow.
They're making it that hard to get unemployment.
I do know it's always been a pain in the ass. The only time I got unemployment was I used to do, what was it called? Attached unemployment when I worked for landscaping. So like in the winters, before we did snow removal, it would just be like a layoff or whatever. And so you could get attached unemployment seasonally.
Yeah.
And that was a pain in the ass. You had to do so many things to make sure it, and you miss one little, you don't cross one T or dot one I, and you're fucked.
Yeah. No, that's literally, no, it's bad. You got to check in every single time, every week. I'm like, I don't know what you guys want me to tell you.
Oh yeah, you got to do the check-in thing.
Yeah.
Every
You
single
gotta tell them.
time.
You gotta tell them how many applications you put in, stuff like that. Like, you gotta on that unemployment and stuff. But
it's weird, the attached one, now that I think about it. I guess it's just for industries that are seasonal, because I didn't have to do shit. That kind of shit I didn't have to do. But if I messed up anything, or I forgot to call, or I forgot to, and you do have to check in, but I didn't. I know what you're talking about. I've seen that too, where you have to like, don't you have to actually show them job applications and shit like that?
Yeah, to forward them stuff. Yeah.
On this one, it just asks you who you applied for.
Yeah.
And then that's really about it.
Yeah.
That's like you get the name of the person you applied for, what did you do, how did you find them, and then what is the outcome?
I remember like that friggin' happened to me. So when I got laid off from Sun Microsystems back in the day, I applied for unemployment, and then it took forever, but I finally got the unemployment, and then I got a job, right? And then when I got the job, like the government was quick to be like, "Hey, you have a job, huh?"
Oh yeah, they don't play.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, you have a job, huh? We need that payment back." You're like, wait, no, I wasn't employed that week. You're like, but you have a job now, right? Like,
yeah. So effective immediately. In fact, you need to pay us back the last 3 months.
That's what happened. No, I had to pay him back like that week.
So what?
Or whatever, or the part that I was employed for.
That's what I asked.
So was that based on after your hire date?
Yeah, dude, something like that.
Which is weird because you're not getting money yet.
That's what I asked about too. I was like, how does that work to stop it? I was like, is it like, well, they're all like, no, it's going to ask you now. It's going to ask you,
Do you have a job?
What was the outcome? Do you have a job?
Are you employed?
And have you worked a day yet?
Yeah.
And if you haven't worked a day yet, whatever that day was, it's supposed to be, you're not back taxing. So I don't know how they got you.
I wonder if it's changed and it used to be that way.
Well, COVID, right? I think COVID changed a lot of the unemployment stuff.
Yeah. And that's what's fucking us up right now. That's what makes it so fucking hard to get. Like I said, it's been a month and a half, damn near, and I still haven't gotten shit yet. Like, like that's fantastic. Unemployment's there, but good luck trying to get it. So
yeah, it's wild. I know Jaden. You remember he was trying forever because he worked at McDonald's, then he worked over at what's that? Gaylord.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gaylord.
He worked over there, but he just really didn't like any of those jobs. So he was trying forever to get into something like he's in now, and now he's working as a mechanic, and he's happy as a fucking clam.
Yeah.
But what kind of future for these kids? Like, I worry. Like, what is it going to look like in 10 years, 15 years? But that's why I kind of want to ask you, like, do you think Trump's going to fix a lot of that kind of shit? That it's going to be easier to get jobs, that it's going to be, the economy is going to be more booming, not just with how far the dollar goes and inflation, but like opportunities for.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think what he's going to do is fix certain things, right? That the old administration wasn't working with, and that's it. And after that, he's going to go with his own agenda, which is God knows, which is God knows what it'll be. But it could be, like I said, could have been revenge. Yeah.
Well, to be clear, everybody knows that I'm not a big Trump fan. Right?
Yeah. Sure.
Big Trump fan. I'm not, and I don't really like announce all my politics stuff. And I'm very middle of everything. Like
Same.
Again. I don't care if you have, I don't like guns, but I don't care if you have fucking guns. Have all the guns you want. Like, whatever,
People have hobbies.
Like vaccines, right? You're like, okay, you don't want to do vaccines? Cool, whatever. Do you, just, I'm to that firm set. But like, I think the difference between, hopefully, right, between his first time and then this next time is that now he's realized with his, like he was on the Joe Rogan, how he was like, oh, he was an idiot. I appointed this person, they're an idiot, so on and so forth. Now he's appointing, like you've seen, when he's been in there. Now he's appointing people like RFK, right? He's appointed RFK, and he's reporting to like all these different people, right? And so you're like, okay, these moves are a little bit better than when he first did. So maybe the second time in is going to be, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that always drives me crazy is every single time his claim to like stuff that's not even his. Like when he was like, when he got elected, and it was like, he was like, the stock market and Bitcoin are going crazy. Because inflation, and everything is crazy. Make America great again. That was that the reason why this is all happening is because of the Inflation Act that just went through, and so things are slowly progressing down and things are progressing up, right? And so I was like, no, that wasn't you, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just business. Those business decisions are going to be different for sure. And then, I mean, even Joe Rogan pointed it out. Even the people are coming in, rapists, drug lords, and all that. They're shipping them here. He even said Aurora, Colorado. It's so bad.
Specifically.
What are you going to do about it? We need to get them out. I'm like, I agree. I'm sorry, but it's like they don't need to be here, right?
And they were saying to avoid separating families, they're just going to send the whole family back, including the citizen, like the kids are born here or whatever.
That's crazy.
How they call them anchor babies.
Yeah. I don't know, man. For me, working in a school, like we have so many Venezuelan immigrants that have come in the last year. And first of all, giant challenge, no resources, none of that stuff. Yeah. But I see individual kids, I'm like, man, are these kids going to like be just fucking shipped out the country, like back to Venezuela where it's all fucked up? And I see both sides because it's like, well, why is that our job to take care of that or to fix it? But also just the human in me is like, man, these are little kids. I'm looking into their eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're trying to learn math. It's like
they're trying to better themselves. They're trying to do this and that. If their parents didn't want them to go to school, then they didn't have to put them in school, right?
What I don't like is like these generalizations and stereotypes, or like they're all doing this and they're all doing this kind of shit, or like especially like the crazy when he said
they're out there putting fentanyl in their burritos.
Yeah, just random shit. Like no.
They're putting fentanyl in their tacos. Don't go to Mexican restaurants.
I just always hate shit like that because people are individual people.
Yeah,
and there's some people are assholes. Every group's got assholes. Every group
has an asshole, dude. It's it's just that's how it is. Like again, like we were talking about a video game, that group.
That fucking guy
had a fucking asshole,
everybody.
dude. He just went and murdered people, But it doesn't reflect like on that group. It's not like saying, "Hey, this
video game players are all fucking assholes."
Yeah, all video
I'm an asshole though.
Yeah, that's different. That's different. Yeah,
I absolutely am an asshole in there.
Yeah,
if you're shitty, I will call you out.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a weird thing, and it's weird how in different parts of the United States the immigration is handled differently. Like these guys, all these people from Venezuela that are here now, most of those people came through Texas.
Yeah,
because Texas was like, nope, head on over to Colorado. We'll put you on a bus. We got you.
Yeah,
as long as you're leaving here, we'll help you out. Which is crazy. And then Colorado was like,
take them in.
We'll take them in. But then there's just so many things logistically that aren't worked out. Like last year when that happened to us, dude, it was like we just got like 100 new students, and you're like, damn, we don't have the resources. There's only so many of us that speak Spanish.
Number two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now we're leaving behind everybody else that we needed to focus as well.
Sure. And there's all these rules in place. Like they were super hungry, but they were staying in those shelters, and the shelters didn't allow them to bring any food in.
Outside food, yeah.
Yeah, so we couldn't like give them snacks to take home.
Yeah, you couldn't do backpack programs.
Couldn't do nothing.
Yeah. Yep.
Couldn't do anything for them. It was like our hands were tied on it. So I don't know. It's just so complicated. I feel like that's the problem in America, is that there's so many of us that are like, it's either left or right. It's either red or blue. It's either conservative. It's liberal. Yeah. It's one of the two. And 99.9% of us are somewhere in the middle, bro. We're just regular people going through life, and we all have our own individual challenges that we're dealing with, and we don't fit into these fucking boxes anymore. And I think that's a big part of why Trump won. Is because he looked different than the system, whereas Kamala looked like the same old
same
shit,
person,
reading a fucking
same
script.
old shit.
Yeah.
People
Every
are tired of
fucking
it.
Time.
Yeah,
yeah, and like I said before, like bad choice on the Democrats being like thinking that was going to work. Like, 3 months before the election, oh yeah, she's fine. She's fine. I'm like, no, dude. Like, you need. There's people that campaign for a couple of years before,
bro, and even back it up before that when they were like, "Yeah, Biden's running again," and everybody's like, "Are you out of your mind, bro?" Because he is. He's not fit to be president, and they're just going with it. Yeah. And that's how they ended up in that position where then they make a last minute change.
Yep.
And then they don't think it through. Like, she's part of a fucking team.
Yeah. That helps.
Everybody's tired of and nobody believes in anymore.
That's why it should be Dollar Pierce 2028.
Oh, shit. You want to be on my cabinet?
Secretary of Defense.
Secretary of Defense right here. Let's go.
Just put me out there.
Your name comes first.
Finance.
Your name comes first in the show. Well, so you're president.
Okay.
I'm vice.
So Mike and Tony.
Yeah, it would have to be, right? It couldn't be Mike and Tony's the president. It wouldn't be. That'd be weird.
Well, I was going by last names because that's how they do it. Dollar and Pierce. So you're still
Dollar and
first
Pierce
in that one.
Oh,
so maybe we just change the norm. There we go.
We're moving
Mike
to first
Tony.
names.
Yeah, Mike and Tony.
First name basis.
Yeah. It's good. It is good. Yeah. So it's not going to be like, President Trump. It's going to be President Mike. It's gonna be like Vice President Tony.
We're going to change the structure, actually.
Yeah.
There's 2 vice presidents. We're all 3 president. Fuck it.
We just take a different region. We're all just regional presidents.
The first.
Oh. There we go.
What's Couch Guy doing? Why is he putting Rosie in jail?
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing over there?
Just running amok.
Tony, I told you we shouldn't have given him a section.
I don't know why we did that.
I don't know why we give Mark a section of the United States. Damn it.
He's putting Rosie in jail.
Fucking everything's on fire. Things are on fire. He's eating grapes.
Or we just give Mark like the northern part of the United States. Mark gets like Montana, Minnesota, Wisconsin, like all these cold ass states. Like
fucking, and then you see me coming out with the cowboy hat and the fucking tools.
Looking like Yellowstone, Mark Yellowstone over there.
I could not picture you cowboy at all, bro.
Bro, I had a phase in my life when like
you thought you were Jaden.
Here it is. We always learn something new.
I was going to Stampedes a lot. Like
you were going to Stampedes
on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, Wednesday night was ladies' nights.
Yeah. Stampede.
Wow.
Wednesday night. I even had flannel shirts on and everything.
Flannel, Mark.
What age is this?
In my
early
20s.
Yeah.
Early 20s.
Yeah, you did this too?
Oh yeah, dude. Stampede was
no offense. I mean, I don't mean.
You know the nickname of Stampede was
what?
Trampede.
Yeah, Trampede.
It was all for the ladies.
It's for ladies. Wednesday night was ladies' night, bro. That line, if you didn't get there like at fucking 10 o'clock, that line was
out
forever, bro. To get into the club, like you had to get there early, right?
Stampede, really?
Yeah, dude.
I did not know it was like that.
It was the premier ladies' night, dude.
Yeah.
And so you would go there, and like we'd go with a group of friends, right? A group of ladies, a group of guys, and then the ladies would help you out with your drinks because the ladies and guys had 2 different cups. Ladies had the Coors Light cups.
Okay.
And then the guys had just like a regular ass cup.
Like regular white ugly ass cup.
Bouncers would watch that and be like, "Oh, he has a ladies' cup? Out, bro. You're out.
Oh,
You're out." And there was like, and so what would happen is like, you tell your ladies, hey, go give me a Crown and Coke. You're like, okay. And they'd come back and just pour it into your cup.
yeah.
Because you didn't want to fucking get caught with the ladies'
kicked
cup.
out.
Yeah, you get kicked out.
Sure.
Yeah. No, Stampede, bro. I was the same with Mark. I wasn't trying to be cowboyed out like and go out with it. I still showed up in my because at the time those where Structure was popular. Remember I told you
you talked about this a lot.
Days,
He was a
dude.
Structure guy.
You would think that
Structure was the old
it was Express
before it was called Express.
Express.
Oh,
it was called Structure, right?
I've always said an express guy, so
Yeah, it was called Structure before Express. And you would think that I was sponsored by Structure, bro. I had like a Structure fucking visor, Structure hat, Structure jeans. Like I had everything,
visor,
dude, everything, right? Yeah, visors back in the day, man. It was backwards and
I
to
was
the
just
side.
as guilty as you were, bro.
But no, and so like
Thought I was Eminem.
I was structured out, right? And one night I was lit up. I was lit, like having a great old time at Stampede. And I think I've told this story on the podcast before. I was like, you guys, you guys gotta watch me. I don't want to do anything dumb because I am like lit right now. Just watch me. Just make sure I don't do anything dumb. And they were like, okay, all right, cool.
Mike's on a pole.
And then all of a sudden I came back and I'm like, woo! And they're like,
shirtless?
Where did you get that hat? I had a fucking black ass beaver pelt cowboy hat.
Beaver pelt.
And they were like, and everyone's immediate reaction was like, who did you get that from? Who did you take it from? And they're like looking around to see if there's
Did you buy it?
any dude that's like looking around for his
Pissed
hat.
off?
Yeah. Who the fuck, dude? Where'd you take that hat from? I was like, no, I bought it, guys. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, right. They sell cowboy hats here. And so, and dude, again, Mark, this is in our 20s.
Yeah.
I'm working at a fucking restaurant and going to school.
Broke.
Yeah. And they were like, how much did that cost? Like, I don't know. I just gave him my card.
Oh, God.
And so my friend, I remember Amy reaching into my pocket and pulling out a receipt. And she goes, oh. I was like, what? She goes, it was a $200 hat. I was all, what? And I was like, oh my God. And the top of the receipt in big red words.
Non-refundable.
No returns. No returns. No returns, bro.
Oh.
And so I was like, fuck. And so like I wore that hat a couple of times. And at the time I was dating this girl named Teresa. And we broke up. I left my fucking hat at her house.
Oh no, the $200 beaver pelt.
And so it's always been a
hat.
story between us, like, on Facebook and stuff like that. Like I'll say, something like, or to my friends, like, because at one point in time, like I asked her, I was like, she's like, I gave it to Amy because you see Amy more than you see me after we broke up, right? Because Amy is like my friend and we still hang out and everything like that. And she goes, Amy has your hat. It's like, yo, Amy, where's my hat? She's like, I don't have your hat. Like, I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, I said, Teresa gave you the hat, she said. And she, she's like, oh my God. She's like, well, we've moved since then. Where do we put the hat? And I was like, who the fuck has my hat? And so that's always been a thing. So like every single time, like,
You never got it back?
no, I never got it back.
Just disappeared.
Just my fucking
Somebody
hat
fucking
disappeared.
pawned it, is
And
what
so
happened.
I always say, like, when it's like a birthday on Facebook, I'm like, happy birthday, Amy. Where the fuck is my hat? Like, you guys owe me.
Teresa's-
You, Teresa, collectively owe me a hat. You guys owe me a hat.
Teresa's been using it to write other guys.
Oh, boy. Oh, too bad.
I'm not hurt about that, Mark. That's
I know you're not. It's just funny to me. She's like, this was Mike's hat. Woo!
Why do I feel like maybe Teresa was a smoker? Was she?
Yep.
I knew it. I knew it. He used to have a thing for smokers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Every girl that I dated was a smoker,
Really?
bro.
That's the complete opposite.
Every girl that I dated was a smoker.
Well, he's talked about he would carry cigarettes and he didn't even smoke.
Yeah.
He have cigarettes with him.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that story. It's a great conversation starter.
It is. It's a fantastic. You just sitting at the front of a bar, cigarettes on the table. Can I get one of those? Yeah, I'll come out there with you.
That's fantastic.
We're hanging out. Very smooth, Pierce. We still have about 15 minutes left, but I did want to tell you guys, had my ass handed to me. I was humbled as a teacher the
I was
other
about
day.
to say basketball.
Yeah.
It's been no. Okay, here's what happened. So I had a couple students who were acting crazy in class. So I followed through.
Yeah.
So a couple periods later, I'm like, I go pull them out of their other class. We're gonna have a conversation. I think we're gonna call parents. We're gonna have to talk this through because you're not acting right in my class. And I'm having a very serious conversation, bro. I sat on a desk while I was talking to the student. I ate shit so fucking hard mid-sentence, and it was so awkward because I was like talking to her
Yeah.
like this, and she's sitting in a chair, and I'm sitting on the desk like kind of a little ways in front of her, and I'm like talking to her like really, really seriously, and then halfway through, the desk just went, and if it was slow motion, I like for whatever reason instinctively reached out for her.
Yeah.
So I like reached out for her, and then I was like, and I was literally in the middle of a word that turned into just like a wild groan. I was like, and you, and I'm on the second floor.
Yeah.
I'm a big dude.
Yeah.
It was a loud, homie. Like I slid. I was like, "Ba-da-doo." And she just looked down. I was like, don't laugh, don't fucking laugh. And she was like,
She laughed.
are you okay?
Oh, okay.
And I was
And
like,
then she
"Yeah."
laughed?
No, she
Oh,
didn't
okay.
laugh. No.
Because it's always fucked up when somebody goes,
Didn't tell her-
are you okay? That's always the fucked up one. But if it's like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was fucking hilarious. Like, that's okay.
Yeah, and I was fine. It turned out to be fine.
We're glad you're
But
fine.
my ego was destroyed. It was so hard to continue that conversation after that. I had to laugh it off. I was like, that was hilarious. So sorry. Where was I? Yeah, you're in deep shit.
Oh God, that's funny though.
Yeah.
That's funny. I love that.
Yeah, I've got some good ones. You remember the banger story of me almost shitting myself at school? Remember that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Had some good times teaching, buddy.
I do have some classic ones, Dollar, if you want to go over those.
Oh, sure.
You want to do a little bit of the fun facts. So some classic ones here. These are good. These ones are from this time. This time about, Jesus, 6 years ago. 2018.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Marijuana prevents vomiting. So drinking alcohol while smoking weed has the potential to lead to deadly alcohol poisoning.
Because you don't vomit it out.
Yeah.
Whoa. But I've known a lot of people that will, if they get drunk first and then they smoke weed, they vomit. I have seen that. And my mom always told me she was never a pot smoker, but she tried once when she was a kid, and she like threw up incessantly. She said,
Maybe because it was the caffeine. Maybe the caffeine triggered her throw up, right?
"Oh, I never thought about that."
Probably.
Yeah, that's probably true for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. When Apple was building a massive data center in rural North Carolina, a couple had lived there for 34 years. They refused to sell their house on the plat of land that was worth $181,700. After making countless offers, Apple eventually paid them $1.7 million to leave.
To leave.
Jesus.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, they made 1,000% more than
Yeah.
their house was
Smart. Right?
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see, like, there's like you'd see lots of places where they have like modern houses, like some like old ass house because the person refuses to sell. Like, or even like, I remember seeing like stuff in China, how they have that. I forget what they're fucking called, but they'll have like a house in the middle of a highway because the person like
they build around it.
Yeah, they just build around them, dude. Let's see here. Amelia Earhart and Eleanor Roosevelt once sneaked off of a White House event, commandeered an airplane, and went on a joyride to Baltimore.
Oh, shit. What year was that, I wonder? That'd have been a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, the 20s, right? Early 1920s.
We're always a little crazier.
I can't say 20s anymore because now people are going to think the 2020s.
Oh.
I've
been saying, we were talking about the 20s the other day.
Yeah.
And I've been saying 20s. It didn't even click that I'm like, oh, we're in the 20s.
Yeah.
Fuck me, right?
Oh. I think the 20s like swing and jazz.
Or I get pissed off
swing.
when people now say the late 1900s.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
we're old,
the late
fellas.
1900s. Like, what? Why are you sounding like that? Don't say it like that. It does sound like it's fucking old. No, that's the late 1900s.
Yeah, I saw some clip on Instagram or something. It was somebody asking this like young nurse, like what age you consider like really old. And they were like, if you were born at like 1985.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
Bitch, nobody was asking you anyways.
Well, they were actually literally asking her.
Damn it.
All right, let's do this one. Humans are born with only two innate fears. We've talked about this before.
Do what?
Two innate fears: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. So every other fear is learned.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that spiders and all
Yeah.
that. I would have thought spiders and snakes and things like that were somehow like just foundational in our DNA.
No, just
But
loud sounds and falling.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Falling is a terrifying feeling.
dude.
As I just shared. I screamed at this student and reached out for her, and she was way smaller than me, bro.
Like she was gonna
she was gonna be able to grab my hand and stop me from falling. Like I would have just jerked her down onto the ground too.
Well, again, we're all taller, right? Being tall and falling down takes fucking forever. It's in slow motion. Is it not, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's when you're falling down, do you not feel like it's slow motion? You're like, somebody, no,
shit.
there's still time. Somebody help.
There's still time. Somebody grab me, please.
Especially those ones where you're doing something active and you're like kind of running or moving fast and you get your balance going.
Yeah.
And you're like falling and running forward at the same time. Like, it's like a slow, just fucking slip and slide.
No, I remember there was one time like I was playing basketball with Callie and I was running and I was like going to go do a layup and I, again, being old, misstep or something, just like, oh, here it goes. I'm going to fall. And it was like, boom, roll.
happened?
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Boom, roll. And I rolled a couple of times and just like got back up and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, damn it.
That's the other thing about being like taller and bigger is like when you fall, it's a big ordeal.
Yeah.
Like if there's people around,
It's dramatic.
everybody's noticing.
Yeah,
like,
it's dramatic.
oh shit!
Because we have long flailing arms, so we're like, oh! We look like the fucking inflatable man. There's like, woo! We're just like, no.
Yeah, forever.
And then it's like one leg is still on the ground and the other leg is still doing that too. We're like, no.
Oh my god! I know.
This is gonna hurt. Yeah. What are we eating for lunch?
Right? Like I told you when I fell off the fucking ladder that one time.
Oh,
That's what it felt like that too. Like, oh, here we go. That's how I felt. It was just like, oh, it's going, it's happening. It's happening.
processing. Already thinking about the ER. This is gonna be rough. Looking at your watch.
So, damn, I still haven't hit the ground yet. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Wiping out in general sucks.
Short people will never relate. You hit the ground like, you fall down like, bam.
It's pretty quick and instant.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a teacher that I work with, and I love her so much. She's a very small person. She's not very tall, and she rides a scooter everywhere. And bro, she fucking
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
books
You're
it.
telling me. Yeah.
She's had multiple wipeouts. Oh no, this was a different one. There's another teacher that worked there that I was like in the main office. Did I tell the one about the bike?
Yeah.
She was riding her bike in the morning for whatever reason, literally riding in the school.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting in this office. It's like a communal area, and sometimes people do ride their bikes and they like keep them in an office or whatever. And I scared the shit. I'm just sitting there working. I was in. She like fucking up against, flew off the bike into the door onto the floor. Gets up and she's like, oh. Didn't even laugh or anything because I was like, we should just both laugh. This is fucking hilarious. It's 6 a.m. Like, yeah,
What the fuck are you doing?
6 a.m. This teacher just crashes into the fucking door, falls on the floor. Like, probably just walk your bike next time. So funny.
What did you learn? Moments. So what did you
Well,
learn?
it's also like between guys and girls, we fall differently too. Do we not? Guys and girls fall differently. Like
Probably.
us guys, it's dramatic. When we fall, it's dramatic. It's just going to be dramatic. But a lady falls, they want to try to save face as much as they can, right? So a lady falls, they're like, oh, whoop, and they get back up and they're just like walking again. You're just like,
Take our time getting up.
yeah, we're like,
Peter
we get-
Griffin it out, bro.
yeah, we're like, oh my god, that doesn't hurt now. I think that's gonna hurt later. But
we're good.
Man, yeah.
Girls like,
I did have a fall one time though in college where I got up like that. We were all it was a party. We were all standing around drinking beers, just talking in a circle, but it was icy, and I fucking slipped on the ice. I have never fallen and gotten back up faster in my entire life, bro. Beer still in hand. I was like, if you weren't paying attention, you did
didn't
not
know you
see
fall?
me. So I've had that too, but most of the time, no. When I fell with I did get up pretty quick when I fell with the student. It's hard to keep the conversation going, just like, ow.
Yeah.
Just had to get up like it was nothing.
And go cry later. Go in the teacher's line later and cry $1.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine I cried then? I don't know why that's so funny, but like a 45-year-old man.
Go get the nurse. Go get the nurse.
Oh my God.
oh god, that's funny.
You got to be in a lot of pain to cry like that.
Well, again, like
Because it does happen. Pain can get so bad. I've seen that happen to my wife where pain's so bad she's not reacting, but
Yeah.
then tears just start. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
can't control it.
Yeah.
Fucking certain
Shit
level
hurts.
of nervous stimulation, that you're feeling. That's fucking insane.
yeah.
The whole nervous system's weird, actually, because it can detect pain when it's not there. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like it's a electrical system that detects pain. So sometimes shit just malfunctions. There's all kinds of diseases and stuff where people feel pain, or like the phantom ones, right? Where
Yeah.
you have a limb removed and you still feel pain
Yep.
there. It's a weird system.
Yeah.
I always wonder, because you know how people have different pain tolerances. Do you think it's grit always that makes people have lower pain tolerances? Or do you think maybe it's literally like just how they're built and how their system is wired? They don't feel pain as intensely? Deep thoughts.
I think I don't know. It could be grit. because there's like
It's got to be part of it for a lot of people.
I've experienced different sorts of pains, but like for instance, here's a really good example. People told me this was gonna hurt, the tattoo on my ribs, and I just went to sleep.
Yeah, I remember.
Like I was like 6 hours in. That's what that I think that was the only time I actually experienced pain is when I woke up. It was the last probably 15 minutes left, and he had like just a small little shading he had to do to go over that part. But other than that, like other pains that I've had, I'm like, nah. Like it was okay for the tattoo, but everything else, I was like, ow.
There's so many different types of pains.
Yeah.
For me, it's like the long-term consistent, like when the brain thing, when my head just fucking pounded 24/7.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it was like the worst pain, but it's just that it didn't fucking stop. So we're ending the podcast on some pain and suffering today, Mike Pierce.
We got some great guests coming up. We got Grammy Award nominee and winner. We got some MMA people on, and then we got some entrepreneurs. So
let's go.
Stay tuned with us. But for now, $1, that is a wrap. Cheers.
Cheers.